Hey guys, Jeff here with the Ghost Knight Gaming, and we are back with another game tip video, and this time we are doing a leveling trick for Dragon Quest XI. Not so much a trick, but a way that the game allows you to do a lot of leveling fairly quickly at various points in the game where you can really boost your levels to a very high degree in a relatively short period of time. A quick thing before we actually get into all of the tricks for the video, though, is that there are some minor and major spoilers going to be kind of revealed, kind of just by the video itself. So bear with me if you haven't played through at least the first part of the game and you do not want to have any spoilers for it. I suggest waiting to check this video out until you've got past the first part of the game, and that way at least a major character spoiler will not be revealed. And then, yeah, you feel free to check it out. But this is something that you can do right from the first part of the game. So you've been warned. I'm going to give you a moment to wait, come back later, and then we're going to get on with the video. Alright guys, you're in, you're ready to go. Well, let me go over this. So as you can see, I've already used this trick a fair bit, and you can see my levels are already at max for most of my characters, but you're going to get an opportunity to see how many levels this can gain for the rest of your characters as you progress. So the basics behind this trick is you're going to be fighting metal slimes, a synonymous character with the Dragon Quest franchise is the Slimes, and the metal slimes are usually the best way to level up in any of the Dragon Quest games. They usually give you a ton of experience, but they are very difficult to fight. And what we're going to be doing is finding a way to actually have them show up almost on the command. Now, in order to do this trick, the first thing you need is you're going to need to have Jade in your party. By the time you have Jade, you'll have all of the party members you need in order to do this trick. So you need the hero, Jade, Eric, and Sylvando. There are a couple other characters that'll help, and we'll get into them shortly, but to do this, you will need these four. Really, early on, you're only going to need Ghost, Jade, and Sylvando, but you're going to be able to use Eric for a couple other things as well. Now, now that you've got them, the next thing you're going to be looking for is you're going to be looking at their pep powers. The pep powers that you're looking for this trick are Hallelujah, which requires Ghost, Eric, and Jade. Like I said, we're not going to use that too much early on, but the one that we need to start is going to be Electrolyte. Now, this has a chance to turn all your enemies into something very special indeed, but watch out for when it doesn't work. What it does is it's actually going to summon slimes for us, which is going to be super helpful. It's going to summon metal slimes. It doesn't always work. It'll summon killer robots if it fails, but there you go. That's all you really need to get started. Now, obviously, as everybody knows, metal slimes are really hard to kill. This is where you're going to start looking at some of the other abilities that your different characters can get. So, for example, any character that can get access to Metal Sword, or the metal sword abilities, is going to be essential to this. So, anybody that gets Metal Slash, Eric gets Metal Slash, and he also gets Metal Liquor if you're using the boomerang. Both will allow you to do that. Sylvando will also have Metal Sword, and a couple other characters get it as well. Other abilities you're going to look at getting as soon as you're able to get them is going to be stuff like Thunder Thrust for Jade, and later on you're going to want to get Lightning Thrust. These are... Thunder Thrust is an early spear ability that allows you to do critical hits. It doesn't connect all the time, but when it does, it's always a critical. This is going to be a really useful ability. You can get other characters that get these, but once again, this is where we get into the spoiler territory. Eric, as you progress through the story, will eventually get access to an ability called Critical Claim, and you guys are going to see how effective this is. The great thing about this ability, despite the MP cost, is that it will always land a critical hit, but it also doesn't have the mischance of Lightning Thrust or Thunder Thrust. So it's got a really good hit rate. The other character that has really good critical ability is Hendrik. and he gets the axe ability, Hatchet Man. And once again, that's an ability you're going to take advantage. Until you have access to those abilities or those characters, you're going to be wanting to use metal slashes and stuff like that to try to do enough damage to kill them. Most slimes do not have a ton of hit points, so it shouldn't be too much of a problem. Alright, so now that you've got all those abilities, it's time to get pepped up. I'm already pepped up here, but basically what you can do to do this simply is find a battle with enemies that aren't going to run away, and just keep defending until your characters eventually pep up. If a character peps up a lot sooner than the other ones, switch them out with your lineup ability, and switch to somebody else. While they are not in the active party, they will not lose their pep. Once you've got all your primary characters pepped up, so in the case of early game, Ghost, Jade, and Sylvando, and later game you're going to want all 4, get them pepped up and you're good to go. Once you're all pepped up, time to get into the battle. Now, there are 2 key elements to this trick, and we're only going to discuss the first one for now, and then I'm going to show you both. So once you do this, you get into the battle. You're going to go to your pep powers, and early on in the game, probably most of the first part of the game, you're just going to use Electrolyte. It's going to allow you to fight lower level slimes, that metal slimes that you're going to be able to kill for thousands of experience. Later on, as you progress through the game, you're going to be able to fight higher level metal slimes that are going to give you progressively more and more experience. The type of slimes that show up are dependent on 2 things: your party's current level and the portion you are in the game. So essentially, think of the game in 3 acts. And the first act, you're going to get fairly low level slime up to liquid metal slime. Act 2, you're going to be able to fight vicious liquid metal slimes and liquid metal king slimes. And then part 3, it's going to be vicious liquid metal king slimes and vicious liquid metal slimes. As you progress, that's going to give you more and more experience. Even early on, that's still going to be a lot of experience. You're going to gain a lot of levels really quickly. Later on, when you're going to end game and you want to start maxing out these characters, it's going to be gorgeous. So now, here's the entirety of the trick. Here you are at the point where you have access to pep pips, and here's what you do. First thing you're going to do when you start that battle, you're going to use Hallelujah. Now, as you can see, that's going to use up Ghost, Jade, and Eric's abilities here, so the hero and stuff like that. We're just going to skip the scene. What it's going to do is it's going to give us bonus experience, it's going to guarantee post-battle goodies, and it's just going to be great all around. Now, I've put pep pips on a couple of my characters to use, so let's grab this one, and we are going to use it on Jade. Sylvando's already pepped up, we're good to go. So use that pep pip on her, she is now pepped up again. Now we are going to use Pep Up with the hero. Pep him back up again. Next step, let's use Sylvando and Electrolyte. Now this can have 2 results, and we're about to see which result we're going to get. Alright, we got what we're looking for. One of the things that's recommended to do before you go into this fight... Oh, and they're not running? So far, so good. Okay. One thing that's recommended to do, after you've got everybody pepped up, go save your game. Once you've saved your game, go and check it out. If you do not get these guys, or too many of them run away, because that's another thing these guys will do, is run, end the battle, reload that save, and keep going until you get the slimes, and you get enough of them to go. So the first thing we're going to do, I'm going to show you Critical Claim. This is what's going to make things a whole lot easier. Our first target is going to be the one liquid slime that hasn't attacked yet, and we're going to attack him.
You ready for this?
So he hits, guaranteed critical hit, that guy's done. So that's 1 down. Okay, now that I'm over at the hero, one of the things that we're going to do here is I'm going to go into my lineup, and I'm actually going to switch out Sylvando for... Now I have a couple options here. I can switch out for Rab, because Rab has a pep ability, and this is where pepping hip is useful, called the Dirge of Dundersill. It only needs him pepped up, but it uses him and the hero. and it will put enemies to sleep, including metal slimes. So if you're experiencing trouble getting the slimes to running away too often, get him pepped up as well as those guys, and have him use Dirge of Dungerzil to put them asleep so you have time to fight them. But for now, I'm going to put in Hendrik because of his criticals. So I'm just going to have the hero. He doesn't really have any abilities that are going to help a ton at this moment. So we're just going to use Unbridled Blade. If he critical hits something, he can kill it. But generally he'll just end up doing 1 damage or whatever. Make sure you kill the king slimes once you have access to them. Kill them first. They are going to give you the most of your experience in this situation. And as you start leveling up, you're going to find some of your characters are super fast, like Jade and Eric, so they are great for taking these guys out. And there we go. There's all 3 taken out. Watch the experience count with this.
Another one bites the dust.
836,000 experience just from this fight alone. It's massive amount of boost. Watch this. So now Hendrik has now gained 5 levels. He's now max level. Sarita just gained 6. So as you can see, this is huge for leveling, and it doesn't take very long. This is definitely very late game, and I'm getting an extreme amount of experience. But if you were to play through the game normally and come to this point and start using this, you're going to level up super fast. It's not going to take a whole lot. But big things to remember, you're going to need the hero, Jade, Eric, and Sylvando. Pep pips as soon as you can get them, start using them. Though I would hold off until you get to these guys. The other reason for that, I'm gonna let everybody use this. Watch the treasure dropped. So we just got another pep pip and a couple of happy hats. The pep pip is going to allow you to keep using this trick over and over in the late game. Early on, you're not going to get those pep pips, so you may not be using Eric for a lot of this until later game. But the amount of experience you're still going to earn early on and using him for either metal attacks or for critical attacks is still going to make him extremely useful all the way through this. So there you go. That is a great way to level up your party and just turn them into titans, and it doesn't take very long. I ended the first part of the game well into the level 50 to 60 range and got up into the 70s and 80s before I got to anywhere near some of the later bosses. So it can be done very, very quickly. This is also a great trick to use with Hallelujah for getting stat increasing items to really power up your characters. Hopefully you guys enjoyed checking this out. If you haven't already, check out some of my other videos. Let me know what you thought in the comments below. Let me know how I can improve these videos. And yeah, stay tuned for more of these, more top 10s, and everything else here on Ghost Knight Gaming. Have fun, keep gaming, and I'll see you guys again next time.